NSFAS. Let's stay with this issue because the Higher Education and Training Minister, Dr. Nobuhle Nkabane, is holding a 2-day stakeholder engagement on the readiness of the post-school education system. And this comes, as you heard with Nkabane there, that there are prospective students who are waiting to hear if they've got space or not. And if you're hearing of institutions that are saying that they only have space for 5,000 when there's over 200,000 applications, it begs the question, where do the rest go? NSFAS issues also are rearing their head once again. SABC News Reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa is tracking this one for us and joins me in studio now. Mbalenhle, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. Certainly, you heard from Nkabane. It's indeed part of what the minister is going to be trying to do.
Well, certainly. I mean, we had a press briefing after the first engagement. We saw the Minister of Higher Education and Training meeting with different stakeholders and various stakeholders. And this included some chancellors of various universities, departmental heads, HODs, as well as, the heads of TVET colleges and other institutions of higher learning to discuss a way forward and how they can work together to ensure that, the beginning of the 2025 academic year starts off without a hitch and runs smoothly. Now, we know that this time of the year is always a bit of a battle for many students who are trying to return to institutions of higher learning, or those who are trying to register. And we have seen conflict playing out in the streets in the form of protest action by students. Now, in that briefing, the Deputy Minister, Namela, said that they are pleased with the fact that they have not seen the same type of fees must fall protests which have disrupted education across the country, or rather even swept across the country. However, the protest actions have somewhat declined. But on the capacity issue, now that is a major challenge. However, the department feels that at the moment it's too soon to talk about the capacity issue, given that one person might have applied to 5 institutions and prefers to go to one university. But there also seems to be some form of a denial of the capacity challenges that are being faced by the different institutions and the need for more institutions of higher learning to be introduced. However, learners who have just matriculated, who have performed quite well and outstandingly so, and performing higher than the learners who have come before them, are now obviously seeking alternatives, and these alternatives, according to the Deputy Minister, are going to TVET colleges, which are also facing capacity challenges, universities of technologies, or universities, and so on. And he's saying that there are other alternatives. But now this is something that we've heard every single year, at the beginning of every single year. However, there are also other contingency measures that are being put in place. The Minister outlining plans to establish, and maybe has already established, what might be a war room, where there are teams of people who are going into institutions to troubleshoot maybe the challenges that might emerge, and also ensuring that communication is there. The other issue, this is another story that my colleague in Pretoria was working with, Patricia Visagie, which was also dealt with during this media briefing, is the issue of private accommodation service providers who allege that they are owed around 400 million rand. We heard the NSFAS director speaking on this, saying that they have paid all legitimate claims and they are looking into all claims, and they're saying that they have not ignored any legitimate claims. So it remains to be seen if there's maybe a miscommunication or misunderstanding between the body representing private service providers and private accommodation service providers, as well as the Department of Education and NSFAS.
Mbalenhle, and as you say, there are a number of issues that need to be dealt with. There's another one that is now being spoken about, and we heard it from the SRC there in Limpopo, is the issue of the application fee. Are they touching on this as well?
Well, the conversation continues tomorrow, and we have not really brought up the issue of the application fee. Now, application fees have always been there from time immemorial. I mean, when I went to university, I paid an application fee, and I'm sure you also paid an application fee. However, it seems as though this is now becoming a challenge for many students, and this could be compounded by issues such as the high unemployment levels, the dependence of many South Africans on social grants, and obviously, you know, the cost of living at the same time, which would then make it difficult for some parents or parents of those who are unemployed, as one of the students has said in that interview with our colleague there in Limpopo, saying that the parent is unemployed and only earns 350 Rand. So if you have to pay 200 Rand admission fee, that then becomes very difficult, and it becomes unreachable for certain people. But other institutions have had a system where if you apply online, you don't pay an admission fee. And others, if you applying using the old snail mail process, you would then have to pay the admission fee. I don't know how institutions are doing this now, but this is something that we will have to, you know, look into when we go into that final briefing from the minister tomorrow.
It'll be an interesting one, as you say. You hit the nail on the head, which is exactly what everybody is raising, to say the cost of living is making it so difficult to even just pay this application fee, which, as you say, we all grew up knowing that it is paid, but certainly times have changed. Thank you so much, Mbalenhle, for that update, and really tomorrow we'll hear then what the minister has to say as the final part of the briefing there. That's my colleague, SABC News reporter, Mbalenhle Mthethwa.